Alrighty guys, this is a quick video on getting started with bags since the recent change to the crafting recipe. Starting with the tiny red pouch, which is made with 3 red linen. You'll get red linen from spinning flax into regular linen and mixing it with red flowers with a mortar and pestle. On screen I've got a list of all the materials you'll need and where to get them, all that good stuff. So once we've got our red tiny pouches, our tiny red pouches, we can upgrade them into knitted red pouches. This now requires wool, and to get wool you can kill sheep, goats, llamas and alpacas. Sheep, goats at the moment can be found near sort of mountain areas. I've got some on the screen at the moment. I'll show you a bit of a tip on killing these sort of animals when you first start the game, because they tend to run away and you can't really catch up to them. So moving on from knitted red pouch, we go to the woven bag, which now requires silk. And to get silk you have to do the tier 1 dungeon and kill the mobs inside the Adlets, and I will show you a little bit of doing that as well. It's pretty tough starting out, and the silk is a pretty rare drop. So I'll just show you those recipes on screen here, which you can obviously find those by pressing C on your keyboard and going into the bags section here, and you'll find those all there. So let's head on to sheep. I found some sheep here. Pretty lucky, they're kind of rare to find, but they tend to spawn in these sort of small groups of 5 or 6. So once you do find a group, hopefully that's enough. They drop anywhere from, I believe, 2 to 5 wool. So one thing when you're fighting these you'll find is once you get them low enough, they'll start to run away. Now for me at the moment, he's sort of stuck on this wall, so I could just keep hitting him and I would win the fight. But the best thing to do is sort of hit one, let him run away, hit the next one, let him run away, move on to the next one, try not to die in the process. So I'm just gonna, and just let him run off, and he will eventually wander back and stop sort of fleeing. So this guy over here, you can see he's run off over here, and I can approach him now and finish him off hopefully. If not, just wait again. So we can see here 5 wool, so it's pretty easy to get quite a lot of wool. The hardest part is just finding the sheep. I'm not sure if this drop will change in the future, but we'll have to see. So I'll just show you, if I was to hit the sheep and then once he starts dying he'll run away and I try to catch up to him, he'll just keep running. Or they tend to just sort of keep running and you can't sort of catch up to them. Sometimes they stop, but I found it easy just to move on to the next one and then wait till he stopped running and then go after him. But if you're lucky enough and you get a steep hill like this, you can get him sort of stuck in the corner sometimes, and that'll allow you to just keep wailing on him. There we go. Cool. So that's all our wool done. Where is that? 20 wool. So that's pretty close to the maximum that we needed, which was 24. Right here. So 24 flax and 24 red flowers will get you 8 tiny pouches. You need 8 tiny pouches because the knitted pouches require 2 tinies. So you get 2 tinies, add 6 wool to each of those, or to a pair of them, so you'll get a total of 4 pouches after 24 wool, and then we'll move on to silk. So from here I've got this soft wool. I could probably make those. I can make those if I had them, but I've already made the other bags, so we can't do that at the moment. But that's how you could just do that on the spot. Don't have to go back home to do that. You can just do that wherever you are. So if you are grinding your bags, you're best to keep your flax and your linen in a stack with your red flowers. Don't make red linen until you need it, because it just takes up an extra inventory slot. And then once you've got all your materials you need, so I'll bring that list up again. Probably best just to pause the video, write this down, take note. I'll probably leave it in the comment section or in the description so it's easy to see. But once you've collected all your materials, then start making your items, because if you make all your 8 bags, it's going to take up almost a whole row of your inventory. So don't make them all at once, leave them all stacked together in sort of material form and then make them afterward. So here's all the information you're going to need essentially to get all these. 6 silk. So to get silk, we don't actually get silk, we get this sticky thread from the Adlets. So I'm going to go back to the tier 1 dungeon, which is just over here. I had to run quite a while to find those sheep, they're pretty far away. As you can see, this is the spawn town here, and I was up sort of over here in the mountains, but there's a few mountainous areas sort of just around here as well, so you should be able to find sheep, goats and llamas hopefully in that sort of area, especially once they add the goat, llama and alpaca drop, because at the moment only sheep drop wool, but that will change. So we're at the dungeon, let's head on down here. Probably kill this hyena who keeps chasing me. Okay. So at the moment my gear is pretty abysmal. I haven't really gotten any gear, but there is a pretty easy way to clear these dungeons. So in your adventures out in the forest, you'll probably gather a whole bunch of apples and twigs, hopefully, maybe some mushrooms, and you can make these mushroom sticks and apple sticks. And I would recommend making those and then putting those on one of your keybinds down here. Now with your keybinds, I'll just quickly show you this. It doesn't bind the item to there, it binds the slot. So if I move this, it moves the bound item here. So if you click this little item sort for your bag, it jumbles all your keybinds up. So I honestly wouldn't recommend using this once you've set your keybinds up. I would sort your bag manually yourself. That way you can keep your keybinds set to sort of whatever you want them to be. So that'll do for now. I haven't got any potions. You can buy potions from the merchants in town, but the smallest potion heals 50, so it's a bit overkill when you've only got 50 health. So I'm just going to eat one of those, and also food heals you over time rather than all at once. So we're going to start here, let's head over this way. Oh, got a whole bunch of rats in here. So I'm just going to do the whole walk backwards and attack at the same time. And that's essentially how you're going to beat most of the guys that drop the silk or the sticky thread, is just hit them and sort of run away at the same time. You can obviously use a bow or a hammer or a sword, sort of whichever other weapon you want to use. I've got a sword here. So he's a mage, I'm going to leave him there and grab these sword guys, spear guys, and bring them over here. And I'm going to fight them in here. Eat my apples. And probably die, which is to be expected. So that's not a good sign. He's a little bit upset. Alright, I'm just going to cheese him through the floor. Alrighty. So the good thing about this is you can just farm them near the top of the dungeon, and when you die you just go back down. Got some leather pants, bit of a gear upgrade for me. Most important thing we want to do though is probably get a better weapon, since these weapons are not very good. If you do catch fire, you can always roll to put the fire out, which is very useful. And you want to eat early enough so that you actually have time to heal. Don't do what I just did and eat super late. So hopefully one of these guys drops some sticky thread. It's pretty hard to find actually, so good luck. I probably wouldn't pick up all these weapons like I'm doing. Maybe pick up one if you want to try a new weapon. Now the boss of this dungeon is a giant yeti, or not a giant yeti, he's just a regular yeti I believe, but he's pretty strong, so I honestly wouldn't recommend trying to fight him at this level. I would come back with much better gear, but there's no real reason to fight him at the moment. He doesn't seem to have any unique drop. So there we go, we've got one sticky thread. So this is the part that's probably going to take you the longest. Going from your 9-slot bag to your 15-slot bag is going to take you quite a while, because to make silk you're going to need these sticky threads. So you can see here from silk, one thread is one silk. Well, there we go, I got a better axe. That's good. And I got some gloves, leather gloves. So I honestly wouldn't worry about making these starter gear, since you can just get leather from these guys. You might as well just keep this stuff. Alrighty, we'll leave it here then. That's sort of how to go about getting your starter bag. So hopefully this video gets you all the way up to your woven bags. If this sort of part of the game is a bit too tough for you, you could always go farm other critters and things, get more animal hide, and you can make the raw hide gear, which is found here. So you just need simple leather for that, and your simple leather is made using your animal hides at a tanning rack, or just turning it into leather while you're out and about. This will get you some protection. It's about half of what this stuff is, this leather gear, which I just found. But it might help you out a little bit. So just because of these couple leather pieces I've gotten here, I'm already at 23% protection, whereas before I was only at about 5% I think with the belt. So that's a pretty big improvement from 1 to 5% damage reduction. Anyway guys, hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.